Hello everyone, welcome once again to another Tableau related tutorial by Slidescope. In this part we are discussing about energy consumption dashboard, and we have created this interactive dashboard in Tableau. Now in this dashboard, first thing that you will see is distribution of energy consumption. In the data set we also have information about weekday consumption and weekend based consumption. Then we also have numerical variables like square footage of the house or residential building or commercial building. And on the basis of square footage of the house, what is the overall energy consumption? And you can see a linear trend here increasing. We also have different type of filters here. So on the basis of these filters, we will be able to see data for different building types or for different weeks. For example, we can see for weekend, we can see for weekdays. So this is also something that you will be able to see. This particular chart represent weekends, this particular chart represent weekdays and on. We will also see consumption by building type, day of week and building type. If there are more appliances in the house or industrial building or commercial building, so on the basis of number of appliances, what is the overall consumption? And on the basis of number of occupants, the energy consumption. So let's learn how to create this interactive dashboard in Tableau. So first let's read the data set here. This is electrical energy consumption data set. This data set is particularly used for linear regression, learning linear regression, the supervised machine learning algorithm. And you can get this data set from this Kaggle URL. We will just connect this data set in Tableau. So first we have some categorical values like building type. We also have square footage, number of occupants in that particular building, appliances used in that particular building, and average temperature. What is the week of day and what is the total energy consumption. So one particular row will tell you information as if the building is residential, a building of 7,000 square feet with 76 occupants, and in the building total 10 appliances were used. Average temperature of that day was 29.84 and it was weekday. So here the days are given as weekday and weekend. And so for that particular combination of values, energy consumption was 2713.95 watts. Okay. So now we will connect this with Tableau. So we are using Tableau Public here. And the whole purpose is to learn how to create this type of dashboard and particularly formatting of data and formatting of your dashboard mainly. Since the file is a CSV file, we will use the text CSV connector here. And in our text CSV connect test, we will connect the train energy data. So particularly in machine learning algorithms, we usually get training and testing data. With the training data, you create some model and then you test the accuracy of that model with testing data. So here we will only connect the training data because we want to explore this data. Suppose you want to create the entire data set, like you want to join these two data sets, the training data, all the rows in the training data, all the rows in the training data are 1001, and all the rows in testing data, you will see all the rows have same columns are same because then only you can test, right? But here the number of values are 100. So in order to join them together and create a bigger data set, what we will do, train energy data, we will go to new union. When you will click on new union, a pop-up will appear here. So by double clicking it, this pop-up appears, and in train we will just drag test here. Okay, let me check why the error is appearing. After connecting your data, you will have your columns like this. So all your column fields will be placed here, their name and their data type. Make sure all the data types are proper here. So in Tableau, whenever a data is connected, it is either a measure or a dimension. A measure is a numerical value and a dimension is mostly a string value. And here, for example, the categorical variables like building type, day of week, these type of values are our dimensions, and square footage of the area, number of occupants, appliances used, average temperature, etc. These are our numerical values. We will go to sheet here, and in sheet we can start creating simple visuals, and after creating your simple visuals you can then go to create a new dashboard. We performed the similar type of analysis in one of our other videos. This was done on Power BI. So in Power BI, you can see electrical energy consumption analysis where we created the same kind of dashboard where we calculated total energy consumption by building type, energy consumption by day of week, etc. So here the idea is when you have to create a dashboard, you have to create individual visuals in Tableau. So first we will create those type of individual visuals and then we will combine them together in a dashboard. So first categorical value is building type. We will bring it to columns. This will give us simple information like there are three types of buildings here. Okay, and we can select it like this. So these are three types of buildings. In show me you can see currently only recommended is text table. Now here we have appliances used, average temperature, energy consumption. The output variable in our case is energy consumption because this is something where we are focusing on and we are seeing the effect of different type of other inputs on this particular output. Like what is the effect of building type or energy consumption? Is it different in different cases? Is it different on day of week? Like is the average energy consumption in a weekday is different from average energy consumption on a weekend? So something like that. So first we will drag energy consumption here. So here you can see in case of industrial building, the overall energy consumption is more in case of industrial buildings. Okay, and you can keep either a bar chart here or you can also create a simple pie chart here, and we will simply rename this as total energy consumption by building type. We will simply change the spelling building type. So this is total energy consumption by building type, and that is how we can calculate this total energy consumption by building type. In case of Tableau, it is little bit different. So when we are creating a pie chart, you can see that when we are taking our mouse over this particular visual, then only we are able to see the values here. This particular information like commercial and this particular value, industrial and this particular value. So this is something that you can see in tooltip. So in tooltip you can see this information is given. You can, if you want, you can do formatting for this. In text level, if you will click, you can see you have option to show mark level, and in your label appearance you have text also, so it will not be available. And here you can enable different type of value, like for example we can say we want 12 pixels, so this will increase the size. So from here you can make these type of adjustments. We will keep it as 9. We will simply make it bold, and in order to make your pie chart bigger, In if you are inside a Windows computer, you can type control. So you can write control plus shift plus B. Okay. If you are in Mac, you can type command shift B, so that we can arrange it like this. Okay. Now it is properly visible. And here, if you want to show more information, for example, if you will click here, then you will see the building type in a legend. If you want to show the building type in label also, you can see it. If you want to show the total energy consumption, you can bring that also. So now you can see we have residential and this. Now when you will click label, you have this option in text. So this it is showing data like building type and sum of energy consumption. If you want, for example, let's say this was in watts, right? So we can write something like this and click apply. You can use different type of colors also. So for example, we want to show the building type in dark blue color, okay, and make it bold. So let's apply. So this is commercial. Let's try bold, apply, and this. So this way you can format your particular graph. Okay. Now if you will right click here, you have format option. In format option, you can see you can format the font, you can format alignment. For example, in your pane, if you want to align everything center or show it like this, or automatic. So if you have less space, sometimes you can show the data like this as well. So like in a vertical way. In your shading part to your worksheet, you can also give a simple background color also, right? So this background color will be visible on the dashboard. So whatever background color you want to give, you can select. Let's select this color. We can change it later. If you want, you can create a dark background color also. And if you are showing a dark background color, make sure your title here, for example, if you have selected a title, make sure its font is light color. Apply. Okay. You can enable this title by pressing bold here. Apply. Okay. So this will show total energy consumption by building type. Now next chart we have to bring is average energy consumption by day of week. Okay. So for that I will simply duplicate this particular chart, and here I will rename it as average energy consumption by day of week. I will close formatting to now just think you have to show average energy consumption by day of week. Okay. So first we will get rid of everything from here. So we don't, obviously we can keep something from there, but we are just getting rid of everything. Average energy consumption by day of week. So first you will bring the day of week in column. Okay. And here we will simply choose the text visual. We will adjust everything. You just don't have to worry about it. So this is day of week, and here we can see week name ABC, and here as a data you can show energy consumption. It will by default show you sum of energy consumption. You can just write, instead of sum you can write average. Okay, hit enter. So this is average energy consumption by day of week. And if you want to see total energy consumption like in weekdays or weekend, which have more, which which days have consumed more energy. Obviously in weekdays we have more number of days, in weekends we only have 2 days. So in weekdays you can see more energy has been consumed, and we can simply rename the title as, here we can change also. So instead of average we can say total energy consumption by day of week. And here we can show a different type of chart, and whatever you prefer you can choose accordingly. If your data is appearing like this, you can also rearrange this. You have colors for your labels here. If you want to use a different color, you can choose a different color. Okay, let's say we have to change the text of this formatting, or here also you have labels. So here we can go and just enable a white color and make it bold. Now at least it is visible. You can format individual elements also. So for example, we have to show this is date of week, format, and it will bring fields, and here we have font. So let's enable a font color like white color, make it bold. Okay, so we just have to go inside default font, make it bold. If you want to increase its height, let's say we want to make it 10 pixel, so make it bold, you have that. Let's say we want to format this, so here in font we will make the size as 10, make it bold, color white. So now it is also visible. So this is total energy consumption by day of week. And now we have our two charts. Okay, here if you want you in color, so you have options for more colors also, and if you want you can select and modify them accordingly. Whatever color you want to choose, you can choose. And one more thing that you can do, you can go to this y-axis, x-axis, and just increase the size. So now you have total energy consumption by day of week. Now similarly, we have square foot versus energy consumption. So let's close this. What happened now? We had two categorical values like total energy consumption by building type, and we also had one categorical value which was day of week. They both were categorical values. That's why ABC is written here. Now we also have energy consumption, right? So energy consumption and your square foot of area. So we just want to see if you will change, if the area of house or building will increase, will that affect the overall energy consumption? Okay. For example, in your neighborhood, if you have a house that has an area of let's say 1000 square feet, so its average energy consumption per day will be something. But if there is another house which is of 2000 square feet, obviously in that house there will be more number of appliances, so more energy consumption should be there. So we will analyze that. Now how to do this in Tableau? Because here we have created a scatter plot. Okay, the plot we have created in Power BI is a scatter plot. And to create a scatter plot in Tableau, take your first numerical value. Okay, so for example, our energy consumption is something that is dependent on square footage. So we are putting that as column, or you can put that as row also, right? We are putting that here. So energy consumption, and we are putting square footage on column. So if you are increasing square footage, energy consumption is increasing or not. What Tableau does by default, it gives you aggregate values. Aggregate measures are on by default, right? That's why it will make sum of your numerical values, your measures, it will make sum. So you just go to this analysis tab here. In analysis tab, your aggregate measures are on, you just disable them. And now you can see the total square footage has a positive effect on energy consumption. This is something we can see here also. Here what is happening, the values are starting from around uh, 2006. The energy consumption is starting from 1600, and a square footage of area is some houses are 600 square feet also. So what we can do, we can right click here and edit axis. In edit axis, you have options for automatic, uniform, axis range, etc. And include zero is checked. I don't want to include zero at this moment, right? You also have tick marks. So like fixed tick mark, none. These are tick marks, right? Automatic, fixed. So let's select fixed. Tick origin is from 0 to 1000 interval. Let's say we want every 100 interval. Okay, so you can see you have more data points now. So like 1700, 2000, 2300, and these are all on the x-axis. Minor tick marks are fixed or none. So in minor tick mark also we have 11, we have tick intervals of 100. So we'll just disable this, but we will keep it to, let's say, 500, so that we have data of every 500 watts, right? So now we have this value, and this is our square footage. What if we increase its size too much, right? You can increase or decrease its size accordingly. So whatever size you want to keep of these particular rings, that you can say here, automatically it will show this data. What you can do, you can click on circle and you can enable the scatter points also. If you want, you can select their color, whatever color you prefer you can select. For example, here we have selected this, we have selected this. So if we again we click the chart, go to format, and in format we have background shading. So in sheet, we can try and bring this shading, right? But all we have to do is then we have to change the font sizes of them, which we did earlier. So we'll very quickly do that. Format, font, make it white, make it bold, 10. Similarly here also, format, not edit, format, font, 10, this, bold. Okay, your heading also is something that you can change. So always change your heading from here. This is what square footage versus energy consumption. Okay, we are seeing, and we can clearly see that square footage has a positive effect on energy consumption. Now we will make it bold and choose this type of font, apply. Now we can see that, but let's say we want to apply linear regression here. Okay, so for that, just switch to analytics tab and go to trend line. What will this trend line do? So when square footage is increasing, energy consumption is increasing, but all the points are not in the same line. Okay, so there should be some line that should represent this trend, trend of increase. So there is this trend line which you can put here. So here we will put a linear trend line, and you can see this particular trend line is showing us energy consumption and all. Okay, and here on the trend line, let's take our mouse over it. So it is showing us an equation. Energy consumption is equal to 0.05 multiplied by square footage plus 2874. All of you must have read one simple equation of line, that is y is equal to mx plus c or mx plus b, where y is the output, which is energy consumption in our case. M is the slope of line, like slope is tan theta, right? Value of tan theta. So slope of line, what is the slope of this line? Depends upon value of m depends upon slope of line. So EC is equal to m multiplied by x. X is what? Square footage of house. And what is C? Plus C. C is the intercept. Intercept means where will this line touch the y-axis. So you can see the line is touching y on 2875, around something like that, right? So that's why when you will take your mouse over this line, you will see 2878. This is the minimum value of energy consumption for this line according to this. Okay, and based on this equation you can select answer. R square is pretty low here, so but this is just a way of finding out this equation of line. Okay, And if you will right click on this line, let me take my mouse, right click and format. So we have line, we have, it like grid line. We can select different type of colors. We also have the trend line in sheet. We can select it like this. We can make it dashed. So this is our trend line. This is square footage versus energy consumption for us. Similar way, we can simply duplicate this. So in house there are occupants also. Like if there are more occupants in a house, then will that make any effect on energy consumption? So we can say number of occupants versus energy consumption. And here instead of a square foot, we will simply bring a number of occupants. Okay, and you can see all, you can see a positive trend here, but it is scatter energy consumption is scattered around the y-axis. You can see, so we have more value, so we cannot definitely say according to this, and that's why here also the value of r square is 0.12, very small value, so representing the accuracy which is low here. But this is a simple thing that you can do, and here we will try to use a different type of data here, right? So we will use a different color. Let's say we are choosing this color. And similarly for your line also, we can right click format, and since it's a trend line, let's say we will select some color, like let's say red color or green color, whatever you prefer. Okay, whatever will be visible over it. So I think red color will be visible little bit, and we can actually choose its width accordingly so that it properly visible. So this is number of occupants versus energy consumption, and here it is barely visible, so we will not edit, but we will format axis. Formatting, here the number is being represented like this. You can also go to number custom. You can decide how many decimal places you want. This is not a currency, this is just a number. So we can say decimal places, and we want to show in thousand. So or you want to show in million, but thousand will be better if you want. So this will be units. So this is just a simple setting that you can do here, and we just have to format it and change its color. So let's make it white and make it bold, so they properly visible. So we have total energy consumption by building type, total energy consumption by day of week, square footage versus energy consumption, and occupants versus energy consumption. We also have number of appliances used. So here we have number of occupants, energy consumption, appliances used. If you will bring appliances used, obviously it will be like this. Okay. So now I have a simple another type of explanation here. When you will actually see the data source, so appliances used are 10, 45, something like this. Okay. So here we will have many different type of values. So what I will try here, just trying it. In appliances used, I will make a copy of it. Okay. Obviously I can convert it to dimension straight away, but I am just duplicating this, and I will make or convert this to dimension, or you can also convert this to discrete. Let's say we have converted this to discrete. So obviously it is going to show sum, and I bring energy consumption here. So it is going to show us energy consumption. If I disable aggregate marks, it is going to show me a data like this, but I will remove it. I will say convert it to dimension and then bring it. When you will convert it to dimension, then you will see a bar chart like this. Okay, what this bar chart is, like houses where total number of appliances is 1. Okay, or rows where total number of appliances is 1. There in such cases energy consumption, total energy consumption is 7500. Okay, you can see in case of houses or rows with 45 appliances, the total energy consumption is more in that entire data. You can also see energy consumption by each appliances group here or bin here. So we can say uh, average here, right? So in average energy consumption, again, this is giving you an indication of what is the average energy consumption by number of appliances in a house. So this is also a type of graph that we can use to understand the effect of total effect of number of appliances. So we will say number of appliances versus energy consumption. Okay, and again, as we have done so far, we are using a dark overall theme here. We will go to background and select a dark theme and enable everything as white color. I'll very quickly do this. Make it bold, apply, edit axis. Sorry, I always click on edit axis instead of format. We go to font, we go to color this, bold, and similarly you can select your other axis. So this is appliances used, copy. Now it is showing appliances used, copy. I don't want that. So this is, we will simply rename it as appliances used. I have just put a dot here. So this is appliances used versus average energy consumption. And I will choose a different type of color here. So I'll go to more colors and I will select some shade of blue, but a little bit different so that all charts will look a little bit different. Now suppose this is okay. This is a number of appliances versus energy consumption. Let's say you want to see the effect of day of week also. So you can bring that in color here. Okay. So you can see in case of weekend and weekday, we almost have equal share, right? So weekend and weekday. So that is very important, and we can also uh, bring that day of week in label also. Okay, so obviously there are so many values. That's why we are unable to see that. And suppose we want to see effect of different type of buildings, then also you can select. So in this case also we can see commercial, industrial and residential buildings, what is the total effect there. If we want to see them side by side, so you can select this type of graph, right? But obviously this will create more confusion, so we will simply use what we were seeing originally, like this. So here we can see in case of commercial buildings, the average, for example, in 33 is 4172. Okay, and if you will simply change it to sum, then you will get the complete idea for total energy consumption in these cases. So now you can see in those cases where, for example, here, so 45, where we have the tallest buildings. In these cases, you can see industrial load is more, right? So here your total industrial load has the highest contribution. Here also you can see industrial load has highest contribution. This is number of appliances versus energy consumption. And similarly, we can create average energy consumption by building type and day of week. So we already gave you simple hint of that how you can do that. So now we will simply duplicate this, and here we will simply rename it as energy consumption by day of week and building type, because you have to learn if you have to show two different variables. So first of all, we'll get rid of everything. Okay, let's say building type is in color. We will leave that because the same color we are using here also. Now here, what we are going to do, building type and day of week we should bring as columns first, and then your energy consumption as a row. So now you will have a simple data like this. Okay, so you can see for your industrial building type, in weekday there is less energy consumption, but on weekend there is more energy consumption for industrial load. For residential load, on weekday it is more, and on weekend it is less. And for commercial buildings, it is on weekday it is less, and weekend it is more. So you can see, if it is work related, so on weekend the total energy consumption is more. But if it is residential, so in those cases on weekdays it is more. Okay, so this is a simple comparison of different type of electrical loads based on energy consumption. So this is also very interesting analysis here. Now we can do one more analysis here. Let's delete this. There is this also. We can do one more analysis. I will simply duplicate this because I don't want to recolor it every time. So this is number of appliances. This is this, and let's go further. So I will simply duplicate this, and now I have a duplicate copy. I will simply see how the energy consumption is distributed. So distribution of energy consumption. If you just have to see distribution of one variable, then you have to create its bins. Okay, so first I will get rid of everything from here. Obviously we have one variable and it will show me sum of it. So just go to show me and create a histogram. Your histogram will actually show you how your energy consumption is distributed. So you can see your, this will show you energy consumption, and this will show you number of rows in which you have that energy consumption value, or you have energy consumption value around that range. Okay, for example here, so this is 3381 energy consumption. So if a house is consuming around 3 kilowatts or 3381 watts, or a building is consuming that, that is the highest value, and it is around 61 here. When you are creating a graph like this, a distribution plot, in that you also get to see a bin size. When you will edit it, obviously it is appliances used. Sorry, I selected, yeah, this is a bin size, energy consumption bin, and size of bin is 147 watts, we can say, as per my understanding. Let's say we want to make size of 1 kilowatt 1000 watts each. So this is that, like from 1000 to 2000, 2000 to 3000, 3000 to 4000. You can see most values are in the range of 4 to 5 kilowatt, okay, or 4 to 5000 watts. So this is also giving you an idea that most of the buildings, whether it's residential or it is uh, you know any different type of building, they have this consumption. But we want to see the effect of different building types on total energy consumption. So we will bring the building type as a filter here, and we will select everything, apply, OK, go to show filter. Very nice, we cannot even see the name here. So this is basically for filter and set control. So let's see, right click here, format filter and set control. Now we say for font we want to use this type of font here, and so this is title. We want to make the title bold also and select that font, and for body we want this font, make it bold. We can select a different color also, a little bit darker. This is good. And you want border, okay, enable simple border here like this and select a border color. So now why have we selected this? Suppose we don't, and what we can do, for example, we can show single value drop down. So this is for commercial buildings. Commercial building energy consumption mostly in 4 to 5,000 range. Industrial mostly in 4 to 5,000 range, but in 5 to 6,000 range also values we have in more. But in case of residential, load will always be less than industrial and commercial, and here you can see in 3,000 to 4,000 range. So this is a simple case by which we can define these type of values, and here we can select all. Okay, now where we are applying filter, for example commercial, this will not be applicable here. So when we are using a filter, we can apply to all worksheets. Okay, currently it is only this worksheet, by default it is, but if you want to use it in a dashboard, you can use it on all using related data source, or all using this data source in this, or you can also apply it on selected worksheets, let's say by building type, by day of week. So you can select or deselect any one of them, and we can select OK. Industrial change. Okay, so always make sure you can do this. So now we have distribution of energy consumption, and here we can also see the effect of different days by bringing in color. So we can see it is almost half and half on weekdays and weekends in case of all. In industrial, we can see blue is more, which is weekday, and this is something that we saw in the previous graphs also. If you want to keep, you can keep this. Now I will teach you how to change this color. So for example, weekend and weekday. So we can edit this color. You will have your palette. So you can choose values from the palette, or you can choose any other palette here. Okay. So let's say we want to select something of blue. Let's say this. So weekday I will select as this. Weekend I will select as this. Maybe this. Apply. It is your choice. I am just showing you different options. And now we have our different charts, and next we will create the dashboard. Now to get started with the dashboard, we will simply go here and click on this dashboard, and size is something that we will select accordingly. So here the maximum width we will keep as around 1250, 1250, and minimum size is 720, and height is something that we will keep around 760. You can choose these settings accordingly, but here I am just choosing according to that. For phone layout, I am not going to do anything as of now. The first thing is to bring a text here. So we will simply bring some text box, putting the heading like what we are doing here. So this is electrical energy consumption analysis, and since I copied it from somewhere, so it has already copied the style. So I am simply going to resize this to around 24. Let's click OK, and now we have this data. We will select this, align it to center, make it bold and click OK. So we have this. Now we are going to bring a horizontal arrangement just below this, and in our horizontal arrangement we can align it like that. Okay, and here when you have this data, you can right click and you can format the text object where you can make it something like this or this, and you can change its alignment only. Now we also have this horizontal arrangement which is going to contain some of our visuals here or some of our sheets, but I will drag a simple blank sheet below it. Okay, this blank particular navigation, and when you will go to layout, you will see first we have in dashboard we have tiled. When you will open it, you will see you have your text, you then have the horizontal arrangement, and then you have the blank. So this particular layout item will always help us in different type of settings. We don't want to make anything floating. So this particular, I will just remove it, and that's why I want to bring the blank like this. Okay, so it's below our vertical element. We'll delete it later, but this will help us in formatting and setting our dashboard elements. Now, as we did here in case of Power BI, so we used different elements like this, where we simply selected, total energy consumption, average energy consumption by day of week. So first we will bring total energy consumption here. Obviously, in some filter, I guess industrial is selected. So first we will select all, so that it starts showing everything. And here, because our title is white, right? That's why it is not showing. So we will simply change it here. Obviously, when we were editing there, it, this color was good, but here we have to select it like this and align it to center also. And if you want, you can reduce its size also. So this is total energy consumption by building type. Similarly, just uh, on one side, we will bring total energy consumption by day of week. So I will bring it like this. Okay, this is total energy consumption. I will again change the title, and this is by square footage. Okay, so I will just drag it here when it shows like this. So here we have three elements, and go to layout and then see in horizontal we have tile, and we have three elements, but here you can see we have text, we have horizontal, and here we have three elements. So make sure all your three elements are inside, their label is inside the horizontal element. Okay, so that you can select your horizontal element. Now it is selected. You can select this, and here you can see distribute content evenly. So when you will distribute content evenly, everything will be distributed in the same ratio. Like this and this will be distributed in the same ratio. We can make this smaller or bigger by Control Shift B and Control B, or Command Shift B and Command B. Obviously, I'm going to adjust this later, but let me fix the title first. So here the title size that I have used in this case is 10 and bold. Okay, I will just use a darker color so that it is visible properly. Here we will simply bring as 10 bold, and again the same dark color apply. So this is total energy consumption by day of week. This also same thing. I am taking some time to explain this. Obviously you can play at a higher speed like 1.25. It will be better for you, but I'm just showing it so that everyone can understand what we are doing in each step. And just to make this title also appear in the same line, I am going to that particular sheet and I will just rename it to energy consumption, not total. Obviously, we can reduce some words. Energy consumption by total will also make the same sense. So here I am going to dashboard. Yeah, this is energy consumption by building time. Okay. And we, if you want, like you can also format your title. Like you can give some kind of border to it. I'm just showing you. Obviously, it's not needed. You can also bring some shading to it. For example, if you don't want to show this dark color because we selected that, right? So suppose if we still want to show darker shade, let's say this particular shade, and then we can select a text that is light shade. So if you want, you can show it like this also. It's your choice, but I'm just showing you one option, whatever you prefer. Here in our main heading also, we are going to select the same type of color so that we can see it properly. Now, something that you are seeing on your sidebar like this, okay, you can see it has effect on all these visuals. So what we can do, we can just reduce its size also because we just want to see it. And you later, if you want to remove these visuals, you can remove from your dashboard also. It's your choice. So now this is energy consumption by building type, by day of week, square footage versus energy consumption. Now I am also showing you a very simple trick here. So I just created an empty sheet here. In the empty sheet, I selected format title. In format title, I selected shading. Okay. I have selected no border, nothing here. Just selected shading and double click and selected the font color as a light color, size 22 and bold. Okay. This sheet is just the dashboard heading. Here, because when I am formatting, obviously there are ways to color the background, etc. Like you have some examples here, but I will just get it off it. And here I have that empty sheet, right? I will just bring it like this and reduce its size like this. So now I have a dark color also. So suppose you want to put a dark blue color as a background or something else, so you can always select that. So that is something just I want to show you, like how you can do that. So this is energy consumption dashboard in Tableau, and now you have everything in your background. Now we have the blank element here. We will get rid of it and we will bring another horizontal element here. And in this horizontal element, we are going to bring our rest of visuals. So first we will bring the number of occupants thing. Then we will bring another visual here, that is our appliances used. Then we will bring the energy consumption and the distribution of data. We will go to layout, tiled. So we have two horizontal elements here. Okay. So we will select this one, the one which is lower in the row, select and distribute content evenly so that we have even distribution. Now we are going to do the setting as we did for earlier. Just align center, color this, size this, apply. Okay, okay. Similarly, like this. I know it's boring taking the same thing again and again, but that's how we can do practice and trying to choose the color like this. Number of appliances versus energy consumption. I will change the heading. I don't want any heading to take two rows here. And obviously here we have four graphs, so that will obviously show 10. center apply 10, apply center board. And if all of them are of the same size, then we can try. This is energy consumption by day of week and number of appliances versus energy consumption. So here I will simply not go there, but I will just write rename as hashtag appliances, number of appliances versus energy consumption. And this is energy consumption by day of week. So I will just rename it as by day of week and building time, because we already know that we are doing energy consumption analysis here. Now our dashboard by day of week, etc. Okay, this is somehow not showing that. Let me fix that. So by clicking here and pressing Ctrl Shift V, this is fixed. This is fixed. We just want the heights this way. And let's fix this also. So for now, I'm just keeping it as appliances versus consumption. And let's Ctrl Shift B. So this is our graph. And here we can see we cannot see anything, weekday or anything. And what we are going to do, let's edit color, not this color. I want to format. So format legends, font, let's select size 10, and in body also 9, and select a dark color. Now it's okay. So this way we have this, and our filter is also here. So based on your selection of filter, you will be able to see the values. We can do one more thing to fix all of this. We can go to dashboard, and in size we can increase the size here also. It's your choice. So what I have done here is I have just brought distribution here and the consumption here. So you can drag and drop them anywhere you want, right? So you can replace them like this. So I have simply replaced it here. So now we have distribution, everything is there. We also have our filters working, and this is a simple dashboard, and in present mode it will look like this. And now you can present this data to anyone and show them the effect of different building type, show them the effect of weekdays or weekends, right? You can see like what energy consumption look like on weekdays, what it looks like on weekends. Everything can be shown from this dashboard. And suppose you want to show some contextual image here or some contextual text data. So we also have the image visual here. So here you can choose image file. So I have simply selected a transmission line file. I'll only use center image, and all text is transmission line, and I will simply click OK. This is my transmission line image, which I will simply use here. Fit image, and we can just place it on one side. So this is a simple way of putting this. And center image, fit image, and if you want to show, let's say, anywhere, so let's try. So by making it floating, we can actually display it anywhere. So we can probably place it here and show it like this. It's your choice. You can create this type of images using Canva or any other tool. So this way I will simply put it here. This is energy consumption dashboard in Tableau. So I have just inverted the colors here. This is our simple energy consumption dashboard in Tableau, where we have tried to format it in a simpler way, the simplest possible way we can. Obviously, based on your creativity and based on what type of color you are choosing, you can format it in a different way. So try that. And if you create something, please show us in the comment section so that we'll be glad to know that our video has helped you in some way. So if you like this video and you would like to learn more of Tableau or Power BI, please subscribe to our channel because we put one or two videos related to data analysis and dashboard every day on our channel. Thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day. So what if we just change the color of all of them? So I will change the color to this white color and I will format the title and give shading like this, the second one. Similarly, shading this, and shading this. Okay. Here we have selected border from somewhere, so we will use border none or choose dark border. Now, for every font that we have here, we will give a white styling. Here also, we will give a white styling. So, after almost finishing our video, we figured out to make it better. So, we just added this extra footage here. Apply. And this background that we are seeing here, so you can click on this entire thing. So just close everything. In your layout, select your main section, right, which is called tiled and it has everything. So here you can select any particular color. Just try to apply, and whatever color suits you, you can select that color. For example, I selected this color. I like this color. If you want, you can choose a further darker version of this color and you can select this accordingly. So this way it will look like this. Obviously I have selected a dark color, and even you can go to these sheets, because in these sheets here we have selected, like we can go to format and not field labels, but we have to actually format the data in background. In our sheets we have to select the second one. Okay, so whichever sheet is appearing light here, for example, from here we can go to that sheet also and format. So just a minute, I will simply format here, and in format background sheet, the second color, I am just making whatever color I have chosen for one, I am selecting for every one of them. So this way I can create a background like this.